Welcome to Daily Wisdom, Walking the Path with the Buddha, a podcast shared by David Roylance. This podcast is dedicated to guiding you to completely eliminate the discontent mind and the suffering it causes by attaining enlightenment. Learn and practice the teachings of Gautama Buddha that will guide you to fully attain a peaceful, calm, serene, and content mind with joy. To support this podcast, visit patreon.com/support Buddha or visit buddhadailywisdom.com, where you will discover a full range of courses, retreats, and online learning resources to assist you on the path to enlightenment. Now, here's our teacher to share more.
Sawadee Kap. Hello and welcome to Daily Wisdom, Walking the Path with the Buddha. Today is our group learning program, and what I'm going to be doing is guiding you in a breathing mindfulness meditation session, then opening up to any and all questions that you might have related to the teachings of the Buddha in the path to enlightenment. So welcome, whether you're joining for the first time or you're joining regularly, welcome to our class today. If you'd like to join for meditation, you might decide to pull up a meditation cushion or a chair or however you feel comfortable to meditate. There's 4 positions for meditation. There's seated, lying, standing, and walking. I'm going to be easing us into meditation with some chanting to kind of ease us into the meditation. Then there'll be a period of time where I'm just sharing some guidance as we're actually meditating together, so you'll actually be able to meditate and hear the guidance for the meditation as well. Then there's going to be a period of time where it's just quiet and we're all meditating together. Then we'll come out of the meditation with some chanting. And then that's where I'll start today's class in terms of opening up to any and all questions that you have. Whether you're in Facebook, YouTube, or Zoom, you'll be able to ask any and all questions that you like. So if you'd like to pull up a meditation cushion or however it is that you like to position the body during meditation, you're more than welcome to do that. And you can even join along in the chanting as well. Arahang Samma Sambuddho Bhagava Bhutang Bhagavanhang Abhivateyami Savakato Bhagavata Tammo Dhammang Namasami Supatipano Bhagavato Sāvaka Saṅgho Sanghang Namami Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa Iti Piso Bhagava Arahang Samma Sambuddho Vicacaranang sammuno Sakato rokavitu Anuttero purisa Dhamma sati satatawa manusanang Hoto Bhagavati. Okay, with the lower body and hands and arms comfortable, in the upper body erect. Just close the eyes and start breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. Here you're just looking to establish the breath, a nice, natural, steady, consistent breath. Not forced or controlled, just a gradual inhale through the nose, experiencing the full breath. And then whenever you're ready, exhale out through the nose. Breathing in and out. Breathing in and out. Your breath may not match up with the guidance that I'm providing, and that's okay. This is your practice. I'm just here for guidance. You can use this voice as a reminder that whenever you get to the next inhale, breathe in gradually through the nose, developing a nice, natural, steady, consistent breath. And then whenever you're ready, exhale out through the nose, experiencing the full breath. Breathing in and out. Breathing in and out. With the breath well established, start fixating the mind on the breath, either the sound of the breath coming into the nose or the sensation of air moving over the skin into the nose. The breath is the present moment. Fixate the mind on the breath, the present moment. Breathing in and out. Breathing in and out. With the mind fixated on the breath, whenever you notice that it moves off the breath, cut that off, let it go, and come back to the breath, the present moment. No need to observe the thoughts, label them, judge them, analyze them, or even try to figure out where they're coming from. Whenever you notice that the mind is moved off the breath, cut that off, let it go, and come back to the breath, the present moment. Breathing in and out. Breathing in and out. I'm going to be quiet now and let you do this work of focusing on the breath, cutting off and letting go anytime the mind moves off the breath. You have nowhere to go. There's nothing to do. No one needs you right now. This is your time to focus on the breath. Breathing in and out. อะระหังสัมมาสัมพุทโธมะคะวาพุทธังมะคะวันหังอภิวาเทมิ สวากขาโตมะคะวะตาธัมโมธัมมังนามัสสามิสุปฏิปันโนภะคะวะโตสาวกสังโฆสังฆังนามามินะโมตัสสะภะคะวะโตอะระหะโตสัมมาสัมพุทธัสสะนะโมตัสสะภะคะวะโตอะระหะโตสัมมาสัมพุทธัสสะนะโมตัสสะภะคะวะโตอะระหะโตสัมมาสัมพุทธัสสะอิติปิโสภะคะวะอะระหังสัมมาสัมพุทโธวิชาจารณังสัมมุโนสกาโตโรกาวิโตอนุเตโรปุริสาธัมมาสติสัตตาตวามนุสนังพุทโธภะคะวะติ Okay, if you guys would like to slowly make your way out of meditation. Once again, welcome to all of you. Welcome to class today. If you'd like to ask any and all questions related to the path to enlightenment and what you need in terms of your personal journey to enlightenment, feel free to ask any and all questions that you like. You can put those into Facebook, YouTube, or in Zoom, and I'll be able to see that in the comment section, or you can electronically raise your hand and ask any and all questions that you like. Okay, it looks like Yusuf has some questions, but let me see if there's anybody else, because I'm sure Yusuf's going to ask a lot of questions. Okay, it looks like Luke has a question here. Sometimes during meditation, I get a song or a piece of music stuck in my head. It's more persistent than normal thoughts. Should I just let it be and focus on the breath? Yes, you're going to need to cut that off and let it go. That's what the mind does, is that it holds on. And this is the whole problem of why the mind experiences discontentedness, whether it's anger, sadness, frustration, irritation, annoyance, guilt, shame, fear, stress, anxiety, loneliness, boredom, shyness, resentment, jealousy. All these feelings are being caused because the mind's craving and clinging and holding on to things, and it can't let go. So you're going to experience that on your way to enlightenment, that your mind's going to be holding on to certain things. As you're getting closer and closer to enlightenment and your mind's maturing more and more, and you're able to train your mind to be more disciplined, to cut things off and let it go, you won't have those situations anymore. But in the meantime, as your mind is doing that, you would like to cut it off and let it go, whether it's during meditation or outside of meditation. Anytime you're experiencing in meditation any kind of thoughts whatsoever, cut it off and let it go. Understanding that you are going to have thoughts during your meditation, but you'd like to cut it off and let it go and bring the mind back to the breath. The goal isn't to eliminate your thoughts. The goal is to notice them sooner and sooner and cut them off and let them go easier and easier. And that's what you're doing in breathing mindfulness meditation. But then in day-to-day life, it's only the unwholesome things that is coming up in the mind that you'd like to cut off and let go of. Like you want to punch somebody in the face, or you want to steal something, or you have a craving and longing, yearning, and you're chasing after the objects of your affection. You'd like to cut that off and let it go. So this is how you use meditation to exercise the mind, build up those qualities, and then in your day-to-day life, you'll be able to use those qualities in order to be able to help you. So yeah, when a song's coming up in your mind and you're in meditation, cut that off and let it go. And that'll get easier and easier as you train your mind more and more. Okay, thank you, Luke, for your question. Let me see if we have any other questions coming in here. Okay, I don't see any in Facebook. And I don't see any more in YouTube. You're welcome, Luke. Pleased to help you. So it looks like Yusuf has a question or a few. Go ahead, sir.
Hello, lovely old man. Your eyes look so swollen. Is everything okay with you? Are you feeling well?
Feeling better than I did on Saturday, put it that way.
Your body, is it like painful or something, or is it like fine?
If I move around, I will experience pain, but just sitting in one spot, I don't have any pain.
Okay, great. Are you going out or staying home?
I've been staying home since I got here on Sunday. Actually, no, I went out on Monday for a little while. But, just moving around the house, getting up out of a chair, off the sofa, out of bed, getting into bed, it all hurts.
Oh, the pain is like too much or it's fine?
Pain is pain. The mind is still peaceful and joyful, but the body experiences the pain. And I'm also getting a cold. If you can hear from my nose, it seems like I'm getting sick. I have a little bit of a sore throat and sinus problems, so that's on top of all this other stuff.
Yeah, I just heard a weird noise out of your nose. I don't know what that.
Yeah, it's really quite stopped up right now.
Yeah, if the mind is joyful, that's fine. That's everything you need, even if the body was in pain, right?
Yeah, the body's impermanent. It's going to experience sickness. That's just the normal course of life.
Okay, so related to the body that is impermanent, I have been wanting to ask you a question before, but the chance didn't come. So now it is the perfect chance. One day you will die, that's for sure. So when you die, your students will have no David. So what do you think a student should do if you were like to die after an hour from now?
Well, I won't die an hour from now, but when I do die, there's going to be plenty of recordings in terms of YouTube videos and podcasts. There's plenty of books, and there's going to also be teachers that are going to continue to be teaching. For example, my son, he'll be teaching, and there'll be others as well. So there'll still be guidance on the path to enlightenment. It just won't be from me directly. So it's the teachings that are going to be your teacher when I am dead, and then there'll actually be other individuals that are choosing to teach that you can refer to if you need to get help.
For example, your son, will he be teaching in English or in Thailand language?
I suspect he'll be teaching in English and in Thai. He'll probably have different classes at different times depending on what language. Probably the Thai language will probably teach very early in the morning because Thai people usually like to wake up very early and go to the temple, and then maybe a little bit kind of mid-morning, probably English, and then, that's probably the best way for him to do it.
So is this like 100% gonna happen that your son is going to teach any of your knowing people, or we should worry?
You should never worry about anything because that means that there's an attachment. But my son said as early as about 8 years old that he was interested in being a teacher, and he's doing all the things that you would think an 8-year-old to now 12-year-old individual would do in order to be a teacher. He knows the teachings very, very well, and he's involved in things like editing podcasts and doing things at the temple and helping at the temple. So he's making all the decisions that someone would make if they were going to move in that direction.
Okay, so this question isn't beneficial to me, but out of curiosity, can you see the future? When you said like I am not going to die after an hour,
Yes, I already know when I'm going to die, but that isn't something that I need to discuss, but I already know, yes.
Okay, so please feel free to tell me if you want to go, because I will be asking questions, and whenever you feel you need to go, just tell me, please. So let me please check my questions. So, okay, I told you that this is an urgent situation. Would you like for me to explain why it's urgent? Because I did not explain in Messenger, or I should just go to the questions?
Just ask your questions. I already know why it's urgent.
Yeah, okay. So the me or the craving for girls, when one like decides to chase after girls, the wisest decision should be, instead of chasing her for her beauty, like her face is beautiful, uh, because if one were to chase after beauty, he will definitely see a more beautiful girl in the streets. So he will be chasing again and again and again and again. So this is like so unwise. And if one were to chase after the body, a sexy body, this is also the same. He will find another more sexy body than his wife or his girl. Even the personality also. So like the ultimate wisest decision here, you would like to chase, it is still a craving, but the wisest craving is to chase after her, as we say, heart, like she is kind, polite, friendly, she isn't yelling, and she has a decreased amount of unwholesomeness. Because if you want to go for this craving, to marry a girl and have sex with her, to be attached to her, as you say, it is the wisest decision here would be to find a girl that isn't going to make your life worse than it already is, by finding a girl that is kind-hearted and similar qualities. Would that be like the wisest decision here?
No, what you're talking about is chasing after women. You're never interested in chasing anything, including a life partner. What you would like to do is take your time, get to know the individual, learn about their mind and how they think and how they perceive the world, and make wise decisions about who you would like to involve in your life. And that's going to take time. It's not something that you can chase after, because if you're chasing, that's the craving, desire, attachment. That's why you feel like this is so urgent, because you have such a craving to be with someone that you feel like it's so urgent that you need to do this right away, because the mind's chasing after those pleasant feelings. I understand you're a young guy and you feel like you need to find a partner urgently, but that's just not the way you're going to be able to have success, is if you're chasing and you're trying to urgently find someone. You need to take your time and really think about the type of individual that you're interested in and get to know their mind. And the main thing that you're looking for is someone who understands that they're not perfect, that they're going to need to do some work in order to improve the way they function in the world, that they need to cultivate wisdom. You're looking for someone who's understanding that you are not the source of their problems, because oftentimes what people do is they're going to blame other people for what they experience in life. So you need to find someone, yes, who's kind, but also someone who's honest and someone who's trustworthy, someone who's committed. And this is going to take more than a couple of weeks or even a couple of months to figure out. You're going to need to take your time and really learn this individual over a period of time. And that's what's going to allow you to make the best decision of who to involve in your life as a life partner.
Okay. The urgent craving for girls isn't only like a craving to be in a relationship. Like, yeah, it is, wow, I will be with a girl, we will be romantic, we will be kissing, we will be spending time with each other. For me, that is like, wow, I just need that. But the other thing that make it much, much, much more urgent is if I let go I walked away from this craving, for girls. Then what option I will have is what we do, Arab people, we let our mom, our father, go to a house, maybe a neighbor or a relative. So my mom will say to her parents, "Hello, my son is interested in your daughter. I have never talked to her, and I only seen her in pictures. So she will say that my son is interested, and he want to be engaged to your daughter. Then there are going to be a period of time from that engagement for maybe 1 to 3 months where I get to know her. So this is the only option I will have if I let go or walked away from this craving to find the suitable girl for me. So I don't see this mom going to other houses and getting to know girls in 3 months or 2 months. This is not a big time. So this make my mind chase and chase and chase to find a suitable one right now when I am in college before the time run out of me. So I can't let go or walk away from this craving for girls just easy, even though I have so much craving for them, but I can't just let it go so easy. But this fear of not finding the suitable one hits my mind over and over and over again that I don't know what to do here.
Okay, a couple of things here is you don't need to have a woman to be romantic with and kiss and hug and all that stuff. You use the word need. This is something that the mind wants. A need is something like food, clothing, shelter, medical care. Those are the things you need in order to survive. But what you want is you want this person to be able to do those types of things with. So just be sure you understand the difference, because when there's a want, that's the craving, the desire, the attachment. But if there's a need, then the mind can pursue those things without craving, desire, attachment if it chooses and it's trained to be able to do that. The other thing I'll share is just because in the past people have created relationships in the way that you described, where your parents go to somebody's house and talks to the parents and lets them know that their son is interested in their daughter. Even though that's the way things have been done in the past, it doesn't mean that you need to do things that way right now in your life. And I know that you might feel constrained by the culture and the cultural protocols that have existed in your society, but understand that you're not bound by those things. You have free will to be able to do things in the way that you think is best.
Yeah, that's true, but it's not like a piece of cake to find a girl and to get to know her and stuff like that. In my country, this is so difficult. So while I am now in college, it is the best opportunity for me because there are hundreds of girls in front of me. But when I'm out of college, there are 5, 10 girls in front of me that I can maybe be a friend with one of them or none of them. So I can't do what you are saying.
I didn't say anything. I didn't say to wait until after. I didn't say to wait until after college. That's your mind saying that. Whether you select a partner during your college years or afterwards, that's a decision for you to make. What I'm sharing with you is that you're talking as if you're boxed in to doing things a certain way. And as long as you're feeling that, you're going to put a lot of pressure on yourself and your craving is going to be strong. Your mind's going to be all shaken up and you're going to make an unwise decision. What I'm teaching you to do is to understand that you're not bound by these things and that you can take your time and you can make a wise decision, because who you choose as a life partner is a significant decision in your life, and you're going to experience certain results based on that decision. And it's not a decision that you're interested in rushing or allowing other people to make for you.
So I don't understand, if I didn't rush the craving in college and the time ran out of me and I didn't find anyone, there will be no opportunity for me to find another one out of college. So what should I do here? This is why it is urgent. This is why the mind is feel like it is in a box, as you said.
Well, I'll share this with you. I didn't meet my current wife until I was long out of college. I was 33 when I met my current wife. and I had graduated college when I was about 22, I think it was 23. So the idea that you have to meet your life partner in college, that's your craving. That's your clinging to a perception of the way you think things should be. And that's going to motivate you into making potentially an unwise decision. So if I was you, I would get that out of your mind. Instead of making the priority that I have to find a woman before I leave college, make the priority is that you need to find a woman that's going to be able to live life with you in a harmonious way. Whether you find that in the next 2 weeks, the next 2 months, the next 2 years, or the next 10 or 15 years, what's important is that you live a harmonious life with this life partner and you guys can build a wonderful life together. The idea of forcing yourself to get a partner now, that's not a priority, but your craving is making it a priority. If you set that aside and you realize that you need to make a wise choice here, then it doesn't matter what amount of time that takes, because picking an individual now that might not be the wisest choice, you're going to have many years of heartache and misery if you end up doing that. So the more time you take now, and I'm not sharing that you should take 20 years or 30 years, but by taking your time now to make a wise decision, it's going to save you so much difficulties later.
I forgot the question I wanted to ask you. It was an important question, but I did forget it. So I will move to another one that I remember it.
What's that?
I said I forgot the question that I wanted to ask you. It is an important one.
Well, it must not be very important then.
I remember it now. When you can't just compare your life with my life. If I were living in America or in Thailand, I wouldn't even be here asking you what to do or what should I do or anything, because it will be like a piece of cake. I can just go and find a girl to be a friend with her. Then if it's not suitable, the next one. But in my country, it is not like that. You can't just say hello to a girl on the street. This is like so dangerous. So if I didn't find one in this box, which is college, maybe I will take like 10, 15 years till I find one. So yeah.
There's plenty of people in the West and in other countries that isn't your country that would tell you that finding a life partner is not a piece of cake. Your perception is that it's a piece of cake to find a life partner in these other countries, and that's not true, because your ability to find a life partner is going to depend on the amount of wisdom that you have in selecting a partner. You need to be able to understand the wisdom of what it takes to be able to select a partner that's going to be beneficial for you. So there's a lot of misperceptions that you have in your mind, Yusuf, and that's going to lead you down a road of, in my opinion, making a lot of unwise decisions.
Yeah, because my mind is in a box. The perceptions, the cravings, the unwise decisions, all like boom, 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 boom.
Yep.
One after one.
Yeah, if I was you, I would sort out your own mind and discipline your mind and train your mind. In my opinion, that should be your priority. And then if you're doing that, everything else that you decide from that point forward will be a better decision. But if you prioritize chasing girls, which is what you said, chasing girls, and that's your priority, you're not going to be able to make very wise decisions in that regard. So you really need to switch this around, focus on training your mind, becoming wise, and then making a wise choice about who to involve in your life.
So just for confirmation, you are saying it is like more wise to let go of this chasing for girls right now till my mind is more wise, more developed in wisdom?
Yes, 100%.
Oh, so I will be like graduated from college then.
Potentially, yeah. You need more wisdom. Even me, when I was 27 and I chose my first wife, while I really appreciate the relationship and I learned a lot from it, I didn't understand myself or the world enough to be able to make a wise decision. So that's why I needed to get a divorce and move on from that relationship. But then when I chose my second wife, I already had a lot of information of the type of person I was interested in, and I was able to make a wise choice because I had multiple girlfriends prior to my first wife. And then with my first marriage, I saw the challenges and difficulties that I was having in that relationship. And I made sure I learned from that experience so that then when I made the next choice, it was a wise choice. So the idea that you're a 20, 21-year-old man in college, thinking that you're somehow going to make a wise decision right now at this age about who to spend the rest of your life with, this is very unrealistic and impractical.
Okay. I just want a confirmation about the middle way. So once I heard you say that instead of completely being complacent about something, and instead of completely being and instead of having an extreme craving for something, the middle is to have an interest in it. So to apply that for me, instead of never talking to a girl in college, and instead of tasting them, I could just like chat with this, chat with that, spend some time with this, spend some time with that, instead of being complacent and never talking to them, or being an excessive amount of craving and chasing after them. Would you agree here?
Yeah, that would be the middle way right now.
So when my classes ends, I just leave with my friend out of college immediately, without giving me the chance to ever talk with any girl or spend time with them ever. So the middle way would be to spend some time in college to get to know some, to chat with them, to be friend with some. Then I can spend the rest of the time with my friend. This would be the middle, instead of just leaving the college or chasing after girls.
Yes, but I'm curious, why do you think that after you leave college, you're never going to be able to be around a woman again?
Because the options I will have is either at work, and even at work I might find no girl, either online, like Instagram, Facebook, and that isn't like a very good choice because I'm not going to meet her, not going to be able to meet her. And or in the streets where I wink to her and smile to her, so she smiles back. So yeah, and this is the three options I have. So they are so difficult.
If I were you, I would eliminate the clinging to the perception that after college you're not going to be able to meet a woman, because that's what is putting the pressure on you to be able to find a woman during your college years, because you're clinging to this perception of I'm not going to be able to see any girls after college. What a perception is a view or opinion about the world of the way things seem to be. It's like an assumption. It's not based in true reality. So the idea that after college you're not going to be able to even see another woman or have an option to build a relationship with someone, this is untrue. But because your mind's clinging to that perception, that's why you're putting the pressure on yourself to be able to find a partner during your college years.
Let me rephrase it. It is not like difficult or impossible. It is like finding a needle in a, I don't know the rest of the sentence. So yeah, I could be around girls, but that doesn't mean that they are suitable for me. I could be like around 5, 10 girls, but none of them could be suitable for me. Who knows, right? Or this is another perception that I need to eliminate.
Yes, you're clinging to so many perceptions because you're thinking you already know what you're going to encounter after college, but you're not even there yet. You haven't even gotten to after college yet. If you talk to someone like me, who I've been out of college for almost 30 years, I can tell you that the people that you will meet after college are actually, in my opinion, they're more wise. They understand more about what they're interested in. In college, everybody's so busy with schoolwork. They're so busy with trying to find a job. There's so many boys and girls around. Their hormones are flying all over the place that Oftentimes after college, you're going to have a better choice because you're going to be wiser, you're going to be more secure in your career, you're going to have put together more of your life, and you'll know more about what it is that you're interested in a partner. I think it's very unwise to do the things that you're talking about, but whether you choose to do those things or not is up to you.
Is it unwise? Yeah, 100%. But I think you have seen why it is so urgent in my mind.
I already know why it's urgent in your mind, because you have a craving. Anytime somebody's operating through craving, they're going to think that what they're doing is so urgent. This is why, like, say you go outside of your house and you realize when you're outside you forgot your keys inside. If you have a craving to go wherever it is that you're going, you're going to run through the house to get your keys and run out of the house to get going again because of that craving. Whenever your mind is trying to hurry up and make a decision, it's because of craving, desire, attachment. And anytime you base your decisions in craving, desire, attachment, it's always going to lead to unwholesome results. So right now, if you chose a partner, no matter how beautiful she is, no matter how smart she is, no matter how wealthy she is, no matter how kind or polite or friendly or whatever she is, I would say that you're going to really struggle in that relationship because you've made a choice based in your cravings rather than a wise choice about who to involve in your life.
By the way, it is urgent because not only it is a huge craving, but because of I don't know what to do. This is why it's because I'm trapped in a box that I don't know how to get out and I can't breathe. This is why it's so urgent.
Yeah, and I've shared with you to practice the Eightfold Path many times, learn it and practice it, and that's what's going to get you outside of this box.
Yep. Okay. So I have a little bit more questions. Is that fine?
Yeah, you can ask a few more.
Okay. So 2 days ago in college, I was standing and there was a girl in front of me. I wanted, I needed, I don't know. I wanted to go and talk to her, but a thought came to my mind. Stop, Yusuf, don't do that because she might be uncomfortable by you going and talking to her. Why is that? Because girls in my country, some of them or a lot of them doesn't like boys talking to them for to protect their reputation. This is something common in our country. So another thought came to the mind. Don't cling to that perception, Yusuf. But instead, she might not think that you are hurting her reputation or something, and she would just talk to you. So fine. So I wasn't knowing which thought I should follow here. So I just stopped and went away. Didn't talk to her. What do you think I should do?
Yeah, that's you craving and clinging to your perceptions again. You need to learn how to be able to wisely talk with a potential partner or a friend. If you in your mind, you're talking to this person because you want something from them, that's where you're going to have anxiety, you're going to have stress, you're going to put a lot of pressure on yourself because you want something from them. And that craving is in there motivating your decisions. Instead, what you would like to do is just be interested to get to know this person and who she is. Not because you want to be romantic with her, have sex with her, hug her, kiss her, all these other things. Not because you want to get married with her. Gosh, put that away. Just start at the very beginning. The very beginning is just to understand this person. Say, hi, how are you? What's your name? Right? Just start at the beginning and get rid of all that craving, that mountain of craving that's churning in your mind. That's just going to make it very difficult for you to get to know somebody and for them to get to know you too, because all they're going to be seeing is your craving. So just put aside all of that stuff and just have an interest to get to know this person as an individual, not because she's beautiful, not because she has one thing or another, but just because she's another human being and you're interested in getting to know her.
Okay, so I don't think you did mention my question. If you were me, and I don't know if putting you in my situation is a fine example because you live in a completely different environment. So if you were me, would you follow the perception that says, no, don't talk to her because she might feel uncomfortable due to the reputation thing? Or you would think, no, she wouldn't think like that, and she would just talk to me as she talked to everyone else. Which one would you follow?
We live in exactly the same environment, Yusuf. Everything that we experience is based on the same exact natural laws. There's nothing different about living in Iraq as living in Thailand, other than the food, the weather, the buildings, those kinds of things. It's the same natural laws. This is why the Buddha's teachings can be applied anywhere in the world. If I were you, I would set aside all that clinging to your perceptions. I've already said that. Set aside all of that. Just approach the person with an interest to get to know her. And that's it. When you start diving into, oh my goodness, she's going to think I'm damaging her reputation and she's not going to want to talk to me and da 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 da, that's you clinging to your perceptions. Instead, just go to this young lady, say hello, how are you? And she's going to say something back, perhaps. And then you can say, what is your name? Oh, nice to meet you. I am Yusuf. Would you like to sit down and have a conversation? Anything like that. Just be nice and polite and kind and warm and gentle, that you're interested in getting to know this person, not because you want to have sex with her, or not because you want to get married to her, or you want her to have your babies or anything like that. Just start at the very beginning of, you have an interest to get to know who this person is. And that's it.
Okay, so all my past questions were questions that I didn't know how to figure them out. But this question is like, teacher, tell me what to do. I can't figure it out on my own, but teacher, tell me what to do. So I feel, I get perceptions that when I go to talk with a group of people, that they might be forced to talk to me, or like I'm just jumped into their group and start talking, and they just want to leave, or they just want to end the conversation, they just want me to go. So yeah, what would you say about that?
That's again your perception. If somebody's interested in ending a conversation, they will say so. And if they're not saying so, that's a decision that they're making. You're basically sabotaging your mind to be able to have a conversation with this person. If somebody's disinterested in having a conversation with you, it's up to them to step away from the conversation and find a way to do that.
Okay. So, the last question, thank you for your time, of course. The last question I have
Let me just say one more thing, Yusuf. Let me just say one more thing. If you're ever concerned about whether somebody is interested in having a conversation with you, after you've been talking for a few minutes or whatever, you can always ask them, would you like to continue talking, or is there something else that you need to do? Right? You're not interested in making decisions based on your own perceptions about the way things seem to be. You would always like to know the truth. So if you're ever concerned about whether this person is maybe needing to leave, but they haven't said so, you can always ask them. You can say, is there something else that you need to do today? Or would it be possible for us to continue to talk? And then they're going to answer your question either yes or no. So don't base your decisions off of your perceptions or your assumptions. You always are looking for the truth to be able to make your decisions based on that. And that's what's going to produce wholesome results in your life, or wholesome dhamma.
A great advice, and I do that with a lot of people that are not girls, because when I am with girls and the cravings is hitting the mind, I can't think wisely. I can't see what you just said. The mind is like going to explode.
I understand.
So I can't think like that.
Well, and that's exactly why you need more training of your mind before you go off and try to find this wonderful woman for your life.
Okay, so the last question is, sometimes when I text those college girls, they don't reply to the message, or they don't even see it, like don't open the notification and see it. So it is completely fine by me. That is their decision, if they want to reply or not. Like after an hour, after 6 months, a year, that's their decision. But is it wise to talk to them again even if they did not reply? So there is a girl that did not reply to my, didn't even see the message I sent her like for a year. So the last 2 months she wasn't coming to college. So I see her, I saw her today, but I didn't have the chance to ask about her. Like, hey, is any problem you having? Why aren't you coming to college? So sending her a message, even though that she didn't answer or see my message for a whole year. Is this a wise decision? I see it as, yeah, fine. You are asking out of kindness.
There's no harm in talking to an individual. You don't know whether there's some impermanence with their device. Maybe they didn't even see your message. You have no idea about those kinds of things. So if this is somebody that's near you and you would like to talk to them, then talk to them. There's no harm there.
Okay, so now I have reached my all question.
Okay.
Thank you, kind teacher.
Yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, let me just check one more time if we have any questions anywhere else. I'm not seeing any questions anywhere else. So what I'm going to do then is I'm just going to end class here by thanking all of you guys for joining. And if you'd like to join for our future classes, I teach on Sunday, Wednesday, and Saturdays at 9 a.m. Thai time and 9 p.m. Thai time. When I'm teaching at 9 a.m., it's at the temple here in Chiang Mai, Thailand. And when I'm teaching in the evenings, I'm teaching from here at home. And if you can't make one of these live classes, they're always recorded, so you can watch them as a recording if you'd like, either on YouTube, Facebook, or on our podcast. What I'm going to be covering this Sunday is chapter 13 of this book, Developing a Life Practice, The Path That Leads to Enlightenment. This is titled Identifying Your Cravings, Cultivation and Analysis of the Mind. This is how you can actually analyze the mind for what are your exact cravings, desires, attachments, and then how do you actually eliminate them. So I'm going to be teaching you this as part of the book. You'll see this kind of almost surgical way to go in and remove any particular cravings, desires, attachments, because up to this point in the group learning program, I've been teaching kind of like general teachings. They're specific and detailed, but they're kind of like a broad plethora of teachings that the Buddha shared in order to be able to eliminate craving, desire, attachment in the mind. Once you understand that and you've actually been able to do that, there's this other technique of being able to go in and almost surgically remove your cravings, desires, attachments. So I'm going to teach you guys how to identify your cravings and then how to almost surgically go in and remove them. So that's going to be on Sunday. And then next Wednesday, we're going to be doing loving kindness meditation together and opening up to any and all questions that you have. So perhaps I'll see you guys in one of these future classes. Have a very lovely and wonderful rest of your day. We'll see you next time. Sawadee Kap.
Thank you for listening to this podcast. To provide support for this podcast, visit patreon.com/support Buddha. To access more teachings, visit buddhadailywisdom.com. There, you will discover a full range of courses, retreats, and online resources to assist you on the path to enlightenment. Remember to establish a daily, consistent meditation practice, along with learning and practicing these teachings. A well-developed meditation practice is the foundation in which to train the mind to attain enlightenment.